Earlier this year in Taiwan, I did a video about the ROG phone when it was launched initially. Then later on, once I managed to get my hands on a retail unit, I did another video on the ROG phone. Now, though they weren't full reviews, I was very thorough and covered almost every aspect of this phone since it's a super unique device and I've been very excited by it. So, when it came to the review, I got thinking, what do I offer that doesn't make you feel like, hey, I've seen all this before, so that it doesn't feel super repetitive. Then something struck me. So I decided this is how I'm going to review it. Not as a gaming focused phone, but as a regular phone. No, hear me out. We all know that it's an excellent gaming phone. It can sustain peak performance longer and all that, but when that peak performance isn't required, when you don't have to game on it, when you're just using it as a daily driver, how does it fare? Is it something that can be used as a daily driver if gaming is not your focus? Well, to answer that, we are going to have to delve into the little things, and let's do that today. But before we do, if this is your first time here, or in case this long intros put you to sleep and you can't remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4 Retech, and welcome to my full review of the Asus ROG phone. Let's get started. If you do end up liking this video, please turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon. And well, I think we have about 3 giveaways currently running. So if that's your thing and you've missed out, here's a card, check them out. So let's start with the build. Now, if you're looking at it as just a phone you're going to be carrying with you every day, you might not love that LED to the back, but with the LED off, it just looks like a logo, it looks more muted and shouldn't be an issue. It's still a bold and brave design. Like, this is a serious phone. The in-hand feel in my time was great too. Yes, it's a glass back, so it comes with the same caveats, fingerprints, the slipperiness and all that. But the ROG phone does feel solid in hand. The fingerprint scanner placement is great. That fingerprint scanner works very well, by the way. And as for ports, it's got it all. A headphone jack, 3 Type-C ports. The ones to the sides are for expansion, so forget that it even exists. Stick the rubber in and for regular use, pretend it's not there. The headphone jack is here, no compromises. To the front is where this phone might feel a little bit dated. There's no notch. There's a big enough forehead. But there also happen to be stereo front-facing speakers. Now, these are the loudest I've ever heard. Frankly, they are amazing. There's a little glitch where sometimes the speakers don't sound as loud as they're supposed to. And when that happens, I've had to reboot the phone about once a day. But this is something that can be, and I'm hoping will be, fixed with an update. So excellent front-facing stereo audio. Now, we also get a notification LED on the display front. It's an 18:9 panel. The side bezels are super slim. It's 6 inches with a Full HD Plus resolution. The tech used here is AMOLED. Forget the 90 Hz part. It's still an excellent display. I personally have one gripe with this panel, or rather the software. There's a standard option that makes everything very natural looking, not the regular AMOLED punch we expect. For that, you're supposed to turn on the wide color gamut option, but with wide color gamut, the saturation gets cranked way up. I really wish Asus provided an intermediate option. That's what we find on almost every other phone that sports an AMOLED panel. Anyway, it's not impossible to accomplish here since there is a custom option that lets you fine-tune everything. It's just a little extra step. And if you feel I'm nitpicking here, guilty as charged. Yes, I am, because there's not much else for me to complain about this. Asus have done a kick-ass job here. If you love excellent audio, headphone jacks, and a notch-free display, the ROG phone has gotta impress you. Notice how the phone, despite all that's crammed inside, still looks quite sleek. It's a marvel that Asus has managed to fit in extensive liquid cooling support, the copper heat spreader, the 3D vapor chamber, the vents, and still have managed to find the space to cram in a 4000 mAh battery. The battery life was absolutely great. With moderate usage, I was usually pushing 2 days on one charge. There's a 30-watt charger included that can get this phone juiced up really quick, 0 to 60 in 30 minutes, which till Huawei came out with their insane 40-watt supercharger was one of the fastest out there, faster than Dash Charge. Well, on the topic of Huawei, some flagship features here are cut, for example, IP water and dust resistance, wireless charging, and some others like support for memory expansion. What is unique here though is that chip inside. This is the fastest Snapdragon 845 that you'll ever see. The clock speed's been up to 2.96 GHz. Asus claims the peak performance here can be sustained for a lot longer than on other phones, a fact that we've personally tested out and confirmed here on C4E Tech. Here's a card to that video if you've missed it. Now rounding off the spec sheet is 8 GB of RAM to go along with 128 or 512 GB of storage. On the software front, it's Zen UI skinned, but this is gonna come with a learning curve. There are quite a few things that you're not gonna realize on day one. In fact, I tested this phone out for 14 days. Usually my testing period is about 5 to 7. So why did I take longer? That's because every time I thought I'm done with the ROG phone, there's something new, something tiny that I kind of came across. So I tell myself 2 more days. Now, for example, to run a game at 90 Hz, you'd have to first go into display settings and turn on the 90 Hz option and ensure you have the game profile set to 90 Hz as well. There are quite a few instances of this, but I did start this video promising to review this phone from the standpoint of someone looking to buy it as a phone first. And for that guy, the learning curve is not bad at all. The regular stuff you'd want to do on Android, all that's there and pretty easy to find, so no complaints. Now, given that this is Asus's real flagship offering, I am a little disappointed to see that it's not on Pi yet, as the ROG team, which is a dedicated team handling just ROG phones, of which there's just one right now, I'm a little surprised to see it's not on Pi yet. Here's to hoping it gets to Pi soon. Well, the ROG phone has been exceptional so far. The cameras are where it takes a bit of a hit. Now, don't get me wrong, the cameras are not bad. They're in fact very good. These are the same sensors that were found on the Zenfone 5Z, which, as you know, I really liked a lot. We have a primary 12 megapixel Sony IMX363, and it even gets a new lens to go along with it, one with an f1.7 aperture. There's still OIS. The secondary shooters are 8 megapixel f2.2 with a 120-degree field of view. The cameras perform well. There's even support for 4K 60 FPS, but it's not the same level as a Mate 20 Pro or a Pixel 3, but they are more than competent and should be very close to OnePlus 6, OnePlus 6T territory. The wide angle option does give the ROG phone a bit of an edge as well. As you can see, the pictures are quite well detailed, sharp, have natural colors, and the dynamic range is excellent. With every area of this phone, right from build to the internals to the battery life, Asus have been best in class or close to it. With the cameras, they're just good. I mean, as you can see, even the low light performance is very good, but it's just not Pixel 3 territory. So for a regular user, you'd be more than happy with it, is what I'm trying to say. Now, of course, as a gaming phone, the ROG phone has a ton of things to offer, right? From that X mode you can trigger with a sweet squeeze, to the insane add-on peripherals. The Aeroactive cooler is even included in the box. There's just a lot that Asus have thrown in, a lot that they're trying to do with the ROG phone. For example, the air triggers are a wonderful feature. So, like I said at the start, if it's a gaming phone you seek, there's no question here, the ROG phone is the way to go. It is the most comprehensive offering around. And it's not even just the phone, right? It is an ecosystem that Asus has invested a lot into. But as a regular phone, if gaming is not priority, the ROG phone is still one that you can consider. It checks most boxes of a regular flagship, looks the part, feels as snappy as anything else out there, and performs better than most. So personally, I'd recommend it as long as it's priced around the 60K mark or a little lower than that. You know, 10K or so lower than a Pixel or a Note 9 or the cheapest iPhone for that matter. That's the territory where I'd be happiest recommending the ROG phone. If by some means Asus manages to get the pricing even cheaper, it would be a steal. If they end up pricing it above 60K, then it's gonna be only for the gamers. For other people, I don't think the ROG would be the best option. Anyway, there you have it, what I think about the ROG phone. Now it's your turn. Let me know what is it that you think. Let me know. Go ahead, comment. I will pin one of your comments, so go ahead, do that. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Share it with friends and family if you can. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on what you felt about the video. Subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.